The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
President Donald Trump last night in front of that joint session of Congress where he talked about how the border has been secured, saying that Democrats wanted to ultimately, get new legislation to secure the border, but that's not what's needed. Just needed a new president, as he talked about the historic low numbers of border crossings. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Last night, a long speech from President Donald Trump in his second non-consecutive term, actually making it to the longest speech that a president has given in front of a joint session of Congress. And he was firing all over the place on a variety of different issues, including that he says Democrats, they don't care about what happens, even if it's extremely positive for everybody, regardless of your politics. And let's get this pulled back up here and fire away.
Country. Who would want to do that? This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad.
So he went on from there with a lot of different agenda items that, again, you can go to thecentersquare.com on the national page. You'll see all those headlines, right? Trump just getting started, he says, as he talks about the border, DOGE, tariffs, talks about the Ukrainian deal, highlights wasteful spending in government. You've got Democrats that were kicked out, and that really seemed to happen whenever you had the president reflect on his predecessor, Joe Biden.
Those not to come. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my fifth such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy.
So again, he called Biden the worst president ever. He talked about how he won the popular votes and how the map was a sea of red, something that Democrats stood up and opposed when he made those statements.
And won counties in our country.
See Al Green standing down onto the far left there of the screen with the Democrats waving his cane around. The House Speaker looking to try to get decorum back.
Counties in our country, 2,700 to 525.
He points to Al Green and says, "Get him out of there."
Almost completely red for Republican.
Points back at him. But then you get the Speaker ultimately taking control of the chamber.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Eventually, you get the Sergeant-at-Arms going to walk Al Green out of the chamber. Apparently, that's also a first. So all around, it was a pretty historic speech, obviously. He talked about draining the swamp and getting rid of bureaucrats who aren't doing their jobs.
Hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again. And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
So the president obviously splitting that chamber pretty decisively in his address to the joint session of Congress. Tons of reaction coming in, including from Jan Schakowsky, a Chicago congresswoman who boycotted the speech, I believe. Here's a statement that Schakowsky put out. Tonight, President Donald Trump spent nearly 2 hours lying to the American public, found this speech insulting and disrespectful to millions, including myself. Trump's not doing anything to help working people, she said. Whatever happened to his promise of lowering costs? He wants to gut health care and take food out of the mouths of poor children to give $4.5 trillion in tax cuts to his billionaire supporters. Trump attacked schools, federal workers, the LGBTQ plus community, service members, and immigrant communities. He made up false claims about Social Security benefits and even supports legislation to end Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid as we know it. Not sure, it seems like a platitude there because we haven't really seen those proposals, but we've heard a lot of speculation. But back to Schakowsky, she says the GOP is coming for your life savings benefits. He also said that she also said that Americans should be happy. Saying that the president says this, should be happy to pay increased prices for groceries, utilities, and gas so he can carry out a trade war. We'll talk about tariffs coming up a little bit later on, but obviously that was a major theme as well. You've got a Republican state, from Peoria, U.S. Congressman Darren LaHood. He released this statement on X. He says that tonight President Trump laid out an inspiring vision to capitalize on the rapid start of his administration and work towards renewing the American dream. It's because of Republican leadership in Congress and this administration that our country is a much stronger position today than we were a year ago. President Trump and House and Senate Republicans creating opportunities for all Americans. Under Republican leadership, we have seen tremendous investment in our country, bringing high-paying American jobs to our communities. Border crossings have plummeted to record lows. Congressional Republicans are committed to working alongside the administration to secure the border, protect communities, and lower violent crime rates. While there's still work to be done, LaHood said he's confident that under President Trump, Republicans will continue to deliver a more prosperous and secure future for our nation. So that's just a little bit of flavor from the Republican and Democrat side of the aisle. Nikki Budzinski, a Democrat, she did release a video where she laid out some of her thoughts with a guest that she welcomed in. Let's go ahead and hear what Budzinski had to say from inside her office in Washington, D.C.
Hi, everyone. It's Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski. I'm so excited to have with me here today Lisa, a special education teacher, to be my special guest at the joint address tonight. We wanted to have Lisa come because I'm very concerned about the target that Donald Trump is putting on our public education system, specifically on the Department of Education, and what that's going to mean for special needs children. So Lisa, tell us about what you do and why special needs education is so important.
So I teach special needs kids, and I have for 31 years, and I'm super honored to be here, but I'm also super concerned, very frustrated, and I think it's detrimental if any of this happens to us. This is our funding. This is our protection. This is, all of our kids' accommodations. This is how they learn. And without this funding, we're going down way the wrong road.
Hi, everyone.
So,
it's
again,
Congresswoman Nikki.
The Congresswoman with a special guest inside her office reacting to that. Of course, you heard if this happens, so it's a lot of speculation as to what could possibly happen, but still Democrats are using the speech as a way to ultimately try to cast the president's agenda a certain way, including Democrats U.S. Senator from Illinois Tammy Duckworth saying that Donald Trump promised he'd lowered costs for the middle class families, but clearly that was a lie that he sold to get elected. In reality, we're continuing to watch Trump and Elon Musk take a chainsaw to programs and services that middle class families rely on. the same families Trump swore he'd protect. And the statement goes on from there, and you can go find that for yourself. But you also have other statements that were given, like, for instance, from Democratic U.S. Senator Dick Durbin. He put out a statement saying that what we witnessed tonight was hubris in the highest form. President Trump has claimed that he alone can make America great. Unfortunately, grandstanding does not lower the price of groceries or cut prescription costs for drugs. While President Trump delivered empty platitudes about the success of his presidency, Elon Musk and his administration have gutted federal government indiscriminately, firing civil servants who are critical to our national security, who protect us from disease outbreaks, and who ensure it's safe to fly under the guise of efficiency. So it goes on from there, and again, you can go find that and read for yourself. Governor Pritzker putting out a statement as well last night, talking about this speech from President Donald Trump. Here's what the governor of Illinois had to say. Republican cuts to health care, child care, and retirement programs designed to pay for billionaire tax cuts. Again, it seems to be what the Democrats are really leaning into. So he says, once again, Donald Trump showed us he cares more about giving tax cuts to the biggest corporations and wealthiest people more than he cares about making life more affordable for American working families. To line the pockets of billionaires, Republicans plan to make working people in Illinois pay the price by gutting health care, child care, and retirement programs. Going after our most vulnerable children, seniors, and neighbors is just plain cruel. Goes on to talk more about Elon Musk and Donald Trump. So, again, giving you both sides here, right? Trump coming out with a partisan speech, highlighting how he doesn't think anything he does Democrats would stand for or clap. What was really interesting, and I didn't have this clip pulled up, but he talked about ending the war in Ukraine, trying to bring about peace. And Democrats were objecting to that. And he even singled out Elizabeth Warren, who was clapping when, Trump was talking about giving, billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine, and that helped keep the war going. But Trump's pulling back from that so he can bring about peace. So it was an interesting kind of, split screen there. You had the president saying we need peace, and Democrats were applauding for continuing what's going on right now with thousands of people dying on each side of the conflict a week. Must see TV, I guess, and it being prime time and how long it went. A lot of people were watching it, no doubt about it. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. Hopefully it's informative for you to see not just what the president had to say, but also to hear what some of the Democrats in response had to say as well, here with Illinois in Focus Daily. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning. The live chat is lively. And it's something that you can join if you watch us on YouTube each and every weekday morning. But if you can't, get the podcast anywhere you get podcasts, and get the segments of the show after the fact with The Center Square on YouTube. Again, The Center Square. And get the headlines at thecentersquare.com. And we'll see you right here with Illinois in Focus Daily.